Hello, welcome back. I am in a great mood today for a lot of reasons. One being that tomorrow's my last day at this Target and I just got back from my shift, which is why I am still wearing this shirt, but it's also kind of cute, so I thought I'd keep it on. Today I'm going to be talking about my job horror stories. So the shit that's happened to me throughout some of my jobs and experiences I've had with some customers or guests that were less than magical. And yeah, I'm just gonna also mention right now that I'm going to Disney on Friday and I'm so excited. And that's why I'm in such a good mood. But being in a good mood is another reason that I'm okay actually talking about this shit, because some of this stuff is not deeper, but crazy. So we'll get into that in the next video. So part one, I'm going to be talking about Disney. I kind of already did a video on this, so I won't really go into it too much, but there were some days, so like I said, the position front of house where you got to tell people that they still owed money, and the person that told me that I ruined their whole vacation, that happened multiple times. So that just wasn't a one-time thing. You do something and they'd be like, you ruined my vacation for literally no reason. So that one happened a lot. There was also one time I was working at Tutu Hut, which is the location where you put lays on people. And I had some really, really creepy old guys come up to me and be like, oh yeah, I want you to lay me. And just all the stupid shit you can imagine. So that was, yeah, that's horror story number one. Horror story number two is an RA horror story. This one is, I'm just gonna tell you this story, but if you're an RA, do not fucking do this. So I was on duty one night and I get a knock on my door and I'm like, okay, well, usual shit, same shit, different day. And I answer it and it's another RA. And I was like, okay, let's deal with this situation. He's like, so there's puke on the floor and I don't want to clean it up, so I'm coming to you. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, somebody puked on my floor. I was like, so you came and got me instead of dealing with it yourself because you have the night off. And I was like, and it was literally trailing from 2 rooms down all the way to the bathroom. It was disgusting. Would not recommend. My third horror story is from Nordstrom. There were many horror stories with people, because there's a certain type of clientele who think that they are above other people. And that's fine. I understand, I'm a retail worker. You are probably better than me because you have done so much with your life, marry rich or fuck a rich guy or be a baby, sugar baby. I don't know, not judging. But anyway, so I had this woman and I was trying to help her, and she was in the fitting room and she had literally, I shit you not, 50 dresses in there. I was like, is there anything I can do to help? Do you need me to take any sizes? Do you need any other sizes? Checking in on her every 10, 15 seconds, because I was, you just know the type. And so anyway, she's like, no, I'm fine. And super, super, super rude to me. And I was like, okay, whatever. So I go back 5 minutes later and she's left. And the fitting room was, I still have nightmares about this fitting room, because I walk in, it was one of the the accessible ones, so it's bigger. And I walked in and it was just on the floor everywhere. Tags were over here, dresses over there on the floor, 50 dresses on the floor. There were 2 things I think hung up out of 50. And I just literally, this is after a super long week, and after her treating me so poorly, I sat down in the fitting room and I thought about quitting. I was like, do I really, really need this job? If I quit right now, would I survive in life without this job? Because I'm sick of this shit. So that was a really bad day. Yeah, my next story comes from my first job outside of my mom's store, because for those of you who don't know, my mom used to own a store called Victor Victoria. It's still online, you can still find it. I'm a model for some of the pictures, so young Allison, not current Allison. But anyway, so yeah, I was at the store, and the girl who was working with me, it was a Sunday right before Christmas. So this is a while ago. It was the Sunday before Christmas. And my other girl comes in and she's like, Allison, I have a problem. I was like, what's up? Like, I'm here for you. She's like, I'm scheduled at my other job at the same time I'm scheduled at this job today. And I was like, what? Like, okay, that's fine. You're going to work here, obviously. She's like, no, it's like kind of dead. So like, I was thinking I was going to go, because she worked at another place in the mall. So she was like, I'm just going to go over there. Like, can you cover for me? And I was like, no, but okay, whatever. So like, I go to the bathroom and I come back and she's gone. And I'm like, okay, whatever. Like, it's fine. And then all of a sudden, it's the Sunday before Christmas. So it gets crazy busy. So it's me by myself in this store, and there are so many people in the store, nobody is moving. And the fitting rooms are just like crazy. So this girl is clocked in at my store, working at another store, and I'm by myself. My manager comes in halfway through the shift. She's like, where's so-and-so? And I'm like, I literally have no idea. Like, I don't know. I've been running around back and forth. She just kind of disappeared, like, going to the bathroom. She's gone. She was like, okay. And then did not stay and help me. Like, she just left. She was like, okay, bye. Like, I see the store's a mess. I'm leaving. Good luck. And I was like, hello? I need help. Like, what? I need help. Please don't leave me. And anyway, so she did not come back for the rest of her shift. She just disappeared for the rest of the shift. Well, end of the day comes around. It's finally slowing down. I'd called Aiden at this point and just cried to him. And like, while I was working, I was calling him because I was like, there's so much shit to do. And I'd been texting him nonstop, and I'd been texting a few other people and like my mom. And my mom had to come and help me close my store because it was so bad. There were so many clothes in the, like, when I said 50 for my Nordstrom story, that was like literally 50. This is literally 100 things. Like, there are 3 fitting rooms and they all had clothes piled up like past my hip. And I was like, I like cried a lot. I talked to my managers. I was like, if this ever happens again, like, I can't be here. And like, at that point, I didn't have their phone numbers or anything, so I couldn't call. And it's not like I wanted to call corporate about this, because you got to keep your problems within your store. So yeah, that was a crazy day. And you know, I do want to say that most of the time customers are like really good. Like, most of the time people are decent because they're people and they understand. Like, you know, shit happens, and like, I'm tired sometimes. I don't do the best job I can do, so there are like, sometimes there's customers and it's like a crazy situation, so I understand like being a shitty customer. But just like for future reference, if you are super shitty to somebody and like you don't work in retail but you're super shitty, everybody that works at that job knows you, like, by name probably, or picture. Like, if you walk up, they're gonna know who you are. And there are pictures that literally, almost every job I've had, there are pictures of people that you should avoid or like tell that they need to leave the store. So don't be that guy. Thanks. My final horror story for the day is when I worked at a certain coffee shop that is not the one in Whitewater, but the other chain one. I realized I probably shouldn't be saying these company names, but whatever. So I worked there, and there was this one day it was like, well, I mean, I'm not even going to go into the crazy stories from this place, but there's this one situation in particular where a girl ordered a Clover. So that takes a longer time. Clover is like a type of coffee brewer, like coffee maker, but it takes a really, really long time to make. And I told her this. I was like, hey, just so you know, like, your coffee's going to take a long time to make. So, and I like tried to talk to her for a little bit. She was totally flippant, so I just walked away, whatever. And then I handed her drink a couple minutes later when I was done. She looks me dead in the eye, says, bitch, and then drives away. And I was like, me?